All right, guys, welcome to the Digital Barbell Podcast. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Jonathan. This is my beautiful wife, Blakely. We're going to be talking about 6 nutrition hacks that will make weight management a breeze. So if that sounds interesting to you, you're in the right place. Before we get into that, sponsor for the day is Black Friday sales. Hope you guys all have your lists made, your credit cards ready, and you got a list of things that you're going to buy for your gym because it is a great time to save money on gym equipment. Blakely outfitted her entire gym in 2014 with a Black Friday sale. The UPS truck pulled up and that guy said, "Where are we going to put all this stuff?" It just kept rolling out. But yes, you can save a ton of money on gear this year, so this time of year. So go get it. We're not any different. We are going to have a great Black Friday sale. I'm not even going to tell you what it is right now because you'll just you might be driving and you faint or whatever. So be ready. You're going to have an opportunity to save a lot of money on training is what it comes down to. The people on our email list are going to get first crack at it. So if you don't already get our 3 emails per week with all kinds of free, hilarious content and great coaching advice and just, if you're on it, you already know what I'm talking about. If you don't get it, jump down in the description of this episode and you'll find a place to jump on the train.
All right.
Are we ready to get into this topic?
Yeah.
Let's roll.
All right, so we're talking about 6 nutrition hacks that will make weight management a breeze. This is a way to basically, if you don't want to be on a diet, like some hacks or rules to eat by.
Yes, preach.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody trying to be on a diet.
All right. All right, the first one, I guess you can call this like the golden rule of nutrition.
Okay.
Or something like that, But it is to eat meat, dairy, fruits, vegetables, minimally processed carbs, and little added sugar. How many times have we heard this one?
It's a spin of the CrossFit nutrition prescription with a little bit of digital barbell nuance added in there.
Right.
That's how I like to say it.
So this is really going to control the quality of the foods that you're eating. And in turn, that will help control the calories that you're eating and will help you with your health as well.
Right. But Blakely, is this all I can eat? Do I have to eat this every single day?
This is most of the time.
Amen. There you go.
Most of the time.
What is a minimally processed carb?
A minimally processed carb. So processed carbs are things that usually you're going to get in the aisles of the grocery store. They're going to come in bags or boxes. And when you look at the ingredients, there's probably like 15. A minimally processed carb is still in the aisles of the grocery store. It's things like rice. It's things like oatmeal. But when you look at the ingredients, what you're buying is also the ingredient. Rice, the ingredients is rice. Like oatmeal, the ingredient is oatmeal. That's the difference.
So are we like those people, those influencers are videoing themselves in the grocery store and coming up to people and be like, "This ingredient is killing you"? No, not at all. If you want to make maintaining a healthy weight easy, focus on minimally processed carbs. You're much more likely to overeat Ritz crackers than just bowl after bowl of white rice.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. That's number 1. That's
right.
That's a great start.
So each of these are going to kind of build upon themselves. So the second one is build your meals using the hand roll. And this is going to really help you control the quantity of food that you eat. So this can be when you're just making your own plate at home. When you learn to use the hand rolls, prevent you from having to weigh and measure everything. If you're served a plate at a restaurant or at someone's house, this can help you eyeball what did they give you and what should I eat on the plate.
And the great thing about the hand roll, almost every time you go out to eat or you're eating at home, you will bring your hands with you.
Yeah, good point.
How about that?
Good point. All right, and you've heard the hand rule a lot of times, but let's go through it really quickly. Jonathan's the hand model right now. So women, you're going to eat 1 palm of protein. Men, you're going to have 2 palms of protein. So this is your hand without the fingers, the palm of your hand.
And that's the diameter and the thickness of your palm. If we were to translate this onto a food scale, that would be about 3 to 4 ounces of post-cooked weight.
Post-cooked.
Of whatever your protein source in the meal is.
All right.
What about men?
Men, I said
Did you
2.
say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Women are going to be 1 palm. Men are going to be 2 palms.
All right. And that will get you, if you're a macronutrient thinker about or counter, that's going to get you about 20 to 30 grams of protein per palm.
Okay.
So men, you're going to be in the 40 to 60 grams per meal. Boom.
All right. Vegetables, you're going to use your fist. So women, it'll be 1 fist of vegetables. Men, it will be 2 fists of vegetables. So this is about a cup for the fist of non-starchy vegetables. And starchy vegetables are things like potatoes, if you know, whenever you head around that. And so non-starchy vegetables are pretty much all the other vegetables. Carbohydrates is going to be a handful. These are like things like the grains, the rice, the pasta, the beans, or the potatoes, the starchy vegetables on your plate. So a fist of vegetables, a handful of carbohydrates, or men, 2 handfuls of carbohydrates.
This one is the one that's going to throws people off the most. And this is really tricky, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit. But if you're going out to a restaurant, they're probably going to give you, about 10 times more than the hand rule of the starchy carbs, and they add up quick. And this is one of the reasons that Mexican food can derail people a lot, is because you got your tiny little taco over here, and then you got 2/3 of the plate.
It's like the beans and rice kind of mishing together.
Right.
Yep.
Easily adds up to probably 4 cups of starchy carbs. And it's not that the carbs themselves are like a problem.
Right.
It's the total quantity. We eat plenty of carbs, but we eat them in relation to like how much we need in our overall diet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the last thing is the fats. So that's 1 thumb for the women, 2 thumbs of fat for men.
And this is cumulative for the whole meal.
Yeah.
And the thing about fat is it hides in a lot of places, especially if you eat out at restaurants a lot. It's on all the cooking oils, it's nuts, seeds, it's dressing, it's cheese, it's butter, if I didn't already say that one. It's really easy to overdo it on fats. And the reason this is a problem for maintaining a healthy weight is because a gram of fat has over twice as many calories as a gram of carbohydrates or protein. So minimal amounts of fat can really help make maintaining a healthy weight easy on you guys.
Yeah, and going back to that plate that you helped us picture a minute ago, like we got the little plate of tacos with the beans and rice. This is going to help us control the quantity of food that we eat and also the quantity of our macronutrients.
Yeah.
So if we were, like you said, that rice in itself, not bad, the beans in itself, not bad. It's the quantity that they're giving. It's the amounts of fats that they're mixing in there. And if we do fill up on that, and then these little tacos, we have eaten way more carbohydrates than protein for that meal. And so this is why this hand rule is just helpful.
Yep.
So you can visualize, what quantity of food are you getting at that time.
Yeah. If your food is shiny, it's already, it's fat that you're seeing. That's the shininess. And it probably reaches the hand rule just because it's shiny. So you don't need to add any fats to that.
Okay, the third one. This is something this is not our own rule. We stole this one, but it is something that's really helped us. Make your plate and don't go back for more. We originally heard this on the Chasing Excellence podcast with Ben Bergeron. I think maybe I would say like 5 years ago. I think we were living in Idaho at the time. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first heard this, it actually made me kind of mad because I was just like, "What is he talking about?" Like I am a big I was going back for seconds, maybe thirds, most of my meals. I liked my meal with a lot of side items, and I liked to go back for seconds. It was just kind of my habit. And it really did. I was just like, why is he saying I can't go back for seconds? I'm making my own food. It's good, for me. And I don't know, but then it stuck with me.
It was a habit.
And I started to think about it, and I actually started to try it and implement it for some reason. And it is true that I was going back for more food than I actually needed. His concept was make your plate. Make your plate, put whatever you want on it, but that's your plate for that dinner.
Yeah.
Don't go back for more. And I think that really has made an impact on our weight management because, I feel great after dinner, but I don't feel like overstuffed. And that overstuffed, I went back for seconds or thirds is like how we feel on Thanksgiving and these other occasions. But it shouldn't be how we feel for every dinner, or every meal that we're eating.
Yeah, save the going back to eat for taste for the special occasions where you're having something that really is worth that. And not just a Tuesday night. There's still mashed potatoes in the pot. I'm going to go back and have some more because I like the way they taste.
Because, and also in the same concept of eating intentionally and kind of slowing down a little bit as we eat, because it does take about, 20 minutes for this digestion process to happen. And within those 20 minutes, we probably still can feel like, oh, I could eat more, I could eat more. But then once that digestion sits in, that's when you get that overstuffed feeling if you have overstuffed.
Yeah. I'm working on this a lot. Like we'll sometimes be eating dinner. I'll look over, I'm done. And you're like half of yours is still there. I'm like, whoa, I think I just ate fast. So I really am trying to take smaller bites, chew more, enjoy the taste more, and just make it a more intentional situation process.
Speaking of intentional, number 4 is my favorite rule, and I think that will make a huge impact.
All right, let's hear it.
Don't eat out unless you're eating out.
What does that mean?
Don't get restaurant food unless you're sitting across the table from someone else in a moment eating out with someone else for a reason.
What about fast food?
Nope. Don't pick up fast food. Don't eat food in your car. Don't pick up food from restaurants and eat it at your house.
Can you, if you want to eat fast food, you need to go sit down.
Make a date with someone to go to Chick-fil-A, sit there and stare at each other's eyes across the table if you want to eat that Chick-fil-A. Do not pick that Chick-fil-A up and eat it in your car. And it's just the amount of calories that are in foods that we do not control are outrageous.
Yeah.
And
we're going to talk about that.
And controlling this by making eating out on purpose an occasion really frees up so much calories and some change for your pocket.
Dude, seriously, let's talk about, in researching this episode, I came across a study from 2017 where the researchers went to 3 different cities over the course of 3 years, I think it was, maybe it was 4 years, and they ordered food from these 3 different restaurants over and over and over again. And then they took that food back to a lab and they analyzed how many calories were in those restaurant meals. Okay, y'all buckle up if you're driving. 92% of those meals, so let's just call it all of them, every single meal had way more calories than is recommended to eat in a single meal. And maybe you're thinking like, well, what does that mean? All right, well, let's talk about that. Before we talk about numbers, you're probably not going to be surprised by this, but the 3 worst offenders of all these restaurant meals were Chinese food, going back to the tons of oil and rice, American food, #everything fried, and comes with a side of fries, and number 3, Italian food, just big portions in general, lots and lots of cheese, Alfredo sauce, good Lord, Alfredo sauce.
And the large quantity of carbohydrates in Italian food.
Yeah. Think about the hand roll for pasta when they bring you you get
the endless bowl.
Oh my gosh. Lasagna is one of my favorite foods of all time. If not, and with this place we used to go all the time, you could order lasagna and then you get a side dish of spaghetti as your side to go with your
a roll.
with your garlic bread. Oh my gosh. It's no wonder I was 200 pounds back when we were dating. Okay. So these meals, 1,200 calories or more per meal. That's over half of what the average person needs for an entire day of this one meal. And there are people, I think, I forget the statistic, but the average person is eating out 6 to 9 times per week. So that's why this thing is so important. I'm going to put the link to this study in the show notes for this episode because it is fascinating. It is long, but it is fascinating. So go check it out.
All right. Number 5, don't leave home empty-handed. So this is just all about being prepared. We leave the house, we go somewhere we might not be back for 3 to 8 hours. Bring something with you. This just prevents you from not eating out unless you're eating out, or driving through and grabbing something, or getting something from a convenience store that is no good for you. Even if you brought a Snickers bar with you, I don't care. But you were prepared. It's at least a start. But we really don't leave home without anything. We always have with these days with the Stanleys everywhere and the little coolers, all the different sizes. There's really no excuses to not just throw something in those bags and throw some drinks in the car and have something if you need it. Half the time we go out with stuff and we bring it back home. We never ate it, but it's there if we needed it. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a little example. Even though I'm trying to bulk right now, I'm not trying to fill my diet with, tons of added sugar and all the things that are outside of the scope of what we said in number 1. We went to a coffee shop and worked yesterday, and I know for a fact of this coffee shop, I love their chocolate chip cookies. I mean, it is a really big chocolate, and it's only $2. It's got this.
It's only $2.
It's got sea salt on top. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But I didn't want to order one, so I brought a Cliff Bar with me that had 20 grams of protein in it, and I ate that Cliff Bar because
In
I brought it
secret
with
in
me.
the coffee shop.
Yeah, I don't even care. I paid $8 for a latte. I'm bringing my own snack, even though your cookie is only $2. That's messed up, man. A cookie is $2 and a latte is $8. What's going wrong in the world? Okay, so yes, I did that. I brought something with
Good
me.
job.
Here's a little hack. Get you a little cooler bag, freeze a few bottles of water, bring those as your ice pack, so you don't have to like have that gelatinous thing that might explode and melt all over in your food. And that ice going to melt, and you have extra water with you too in case you run out. So you can put anything.
The things this guy comes up with.
I mean, I see why you're married to me.
All right, last one. Food prep, but don't meal prep.
Yeah.
This is just what we've talked about tons of times on this podcast, but making whole ingredients that you can turn into meals, because we all are busy, especially nowadays when it's getting dark at 5 o'clock. We come home, we're like, what's for dinner?
Yeah.
And look, you open the fridge. Oh, we had some meat that we put in the crock pot. We have rice that we made. We cut up a bunch of vegetables last night. Boom, let's make a meal. It's
This
that
is
easy.
great too, going back to make your plate and don't go back for more. Because when we have all these ingredients prepped, we build our meal, we go heat it up, and while it's heating up and before we go sit down to eat, we put all the prepped ingredients back in the
That's true.
refrigerator. So it's not really an option to go rebuild a whole nother meal. I'm not going to do that. So yeah, there's a little bonus tip right there. Add that
But
to
it
the
really
list.
does help you. We are not we don't meal prep. We don't figure out all our meals for the week. We don't like prep full meals in containers, but we do ingredient prep. And I think that also has helped us stay successful, because like I said, you get home, everybody's running, like, everybody's busy. Everybody's like running into the house. I mean, like, everybody's hungry. What am I going to eat? What are we going to eat? And if you have some of these ingredients prepped, even if people in your household are picky, they can like take these ingredients and make different things. Someone can have a bowl, like a Chipotle bowl type thing. Someone can have tacos. You can do whatever you want with these ingredients.
That's a great
idea.
idea.
But it really does help speed things up and helps you just like stay on track with like, okay, I've got food, we can eat something.
Maybe you're overwhelmed hearing about this process. Don't worry, Digital Barbell to the rescue. We have a grocery and meal prep guide. You're going to download this thing. It's going to show you a bunch of options that meet the criteria we listed in number 1, all these different food things. It's going to tell you how many to check off for that week so that you're going to have enough of each kind of thing. And then there's a section after you build the grocery list on turning all those ingredients into delicious meals in 3 different strategies to like, different people in your family will like, and a way to make it all taste good too. Because let's be honest, if your food is boring, it doesn't matter like what your goals are. Eventually you can be like, this food stinks, I'm not eating anymore. Somebody call Domino's. Now we're going to teach you how to make it taste good too. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes below.
Let's go over these real quick, because I think this is good stuff. So this was 6 hacks to make weight management a breeze. So we've got eat whole foods. This is going to help you control your quality of food. We've got build your meals using the hand roll. This is going to help you control the quantity of food that you eat. Make your plate, eat intentionally, and don't go back for more. Self-explanatory. Don't eat out unless you're eating out at a restaurant, and this includes fast food. Don't leave home empty-handed. Be prepared and bring some snacks with you. And food prep, but don't meal prep. Make whole ingredient foods that you can make into a meal.
Man,
Pin drop.
we should charge for this episode. It was so good. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We really do appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. Again, we are going to have a killer Black Friday sale on training, so get on our email list. If you're not already, you'll be the first to know to get a spot. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this.